heading on our way down to Kentucky right now to Premier Outfitters. Today is opening day of deer season in Kentucky. It should be an awesome hunt. It's a little cooler than what I think would make the deer move. However, this is the first time ever hunting in Kentucky. Premier Outfitters has been sending me some great photos. Super excited to see what they have. Got a little bit over an hour. Gotta get some gas. Then we'll be at the camp. Hopefully see if we can get out in the woods later tonight. So we just got here. We actually just toured the whole facility. It is amazing. I can't wait to show you it. However, we gotta go in about an hour to go to the woods. So we gotta get unpacked, shower, get scent free, and hit the woods very fast. At Premier Outfitters, they don't have you hunting in the morning just because when the deer are feeding off the fields, they don't want to bump these deer off their pattern. So they let you sleep in the mornings, sneak in early afternoon when these deer are bedded, and let them come back to you at night, and hopefully your target deer comes through. Super distinguishable. It's his brows.
Yeah, his brows and that left beam.
Okay. My guide Eric put me on a 9-point that was a super mature deer. They estimated him to be 8 to 9 years old. He was super smart. Hopefully I can outsmart him this time. Not sure what's going to happen. So when we're walking in the stand, we're sneaking in the best we can. The camera guy was halfway up the tree. I just finished tying my bow up to the string to hoist it up, and I look up and there was a big buck just walking off the pile, headed back down to where we thought he was going to be bedding. So we crawled up super quietly, got everything hung. We talked a little bit just to tell him, hey, I saw the deer. We had very high hopes for this hunt. A couple hours later, we had some does and fawns starting to feed in. The anticipation kept growing just because, one, we already saw the buck, and two, deer are already moving. Well, after the light was gone, we had a couple does that kept feeding in the area. We had to wait till they slipped out. I didn't want to try and blow up this buck. If he was nearby, I didn't want to get a chance to have him get a little weird feeling. Awaiting back at camp was a hot meal, a fire, and hopefully sharing some great success stories around the fire. More on Premier Outfitters when we get back. When first walking into Premier Outfitters, that shock feeling just seeing how big the area is and with how much room there is to share those stories in the living room. Owned and operated by Mark Clifford and his wife, gave us hunters the premier hunting experience in Western Kentucky. So you can't kill a deer at the lodge. We're heading back out to the woods and hopefully get it done on day 2. Day 2, and we're walking out to the stand finally. We know where we're going. It's just a couple more 100 yards up. We sneak in off the bean field. Hopefully he comes out tonight. Going after a big 9-point, super heavy mass, older deer. Last night we saw a ton of does, lots of turkeys, just no bucks that I can confirm. But I did think I saw one that was in the brush. Couldn't see really what it was. Couldn't get my binocs up just because we had does so close. So hopefully tonight, same wind, same stand. Hopefully a big one comes out tonight. No, I'd rather shoot her grandpa. same thing as day one. We had a lot of the does and fawns coming back into the bait pile, feed off. The fawns were playing with each other. Super, super cool to see. A couple hours later, after the does and fawns were there, we had a young buck come up. He didn't hit into the bait pile, however, he kept feeding through. Super cool to see. Hey, that makes 2 bucks in 2 days, still a really good sign. So with seeing that younger buck come out first, I had very high hopes that as a big mature buck, that he'll be on his feet probably here in the next 30 minutes. We waited and we just never saw anything that came out. So starting in day 3 here, our last day here in camp, we're heading out to the woods. Hopefully we get it done. Anticipation's high. We know he's still in the area. At the last couple hours, I did put eyes. I saw a big deer on the ridge, grabbed my binocs, looked up, and there he was. He was about 100, 120 yards away, walking down the ridgeline, going away from us. As hunting a mature whitetail, when we see him and he's just going away, it is kind of a heartbreak. You know he was there. You gave your best shot at harvesting him. However, he didn't want to play with those conditions. It happens. That's why it's called hunting. Not everything is going to end in a great kill. Bad news is I'm leaving camp right now to get back to work. We saw a lot of deer. Saw a couple bucks just off in the distance. I don't think the camera picked them up, but we saw some really, really good deer. The one I was after was a giant 9-point, super heavy, super wide, short tine. It was an awesome deer. We did see him. Good news is I'm going to be coming back here for muzzleloader season in just over a month, so hopefully I get it done then.
Hey guys, here's one of my must-have items, and it sounds stupid. It's the peat shoe dryer, right? I've had one for years, literally probably the last 15, 20 years. And what I love about it is I'm one of those guys that likes to put on warm boots in the morning when you go out, but literally my feet sweat very, very bad, and I wear rubber boots all the time. So if I didn't have this, I'm gonna always have that moisture, and moisture is what kills your feet in the cold, right? If your feet are damp a little bit, they're gonna get cold extremely fast. This is a way to eliminate that. But what I found out is I just don't use it for my boots anymore. I use it for my backpack. If it rains and your backpack's extremely wet, I just put that over the top. It blows that warm air up. It's gonna totally take all the moisture out of there, dries up my backpack, but we use it for gloves. I've already hung shirts on it. You name it, we use it all the time throughout the entire season. I actually take the portable along, you know, on my extended trips. Peat has evolved as well, so now it just doesn't warm your clothes or warm your shoes. You can use Ozone. Literally, it's as simple as pulling your unit apart, putting that Ozone unit on, and literally putting your shoes back on, turning on the Ozone, and it's gonna kill all bacteria. And therefore it eliminates sand. So it's taken that one step further. It's gonna let you stand a longer time and hopefully be more successful.
Modern Hunter is brought to you by
See it? Yeah, you don't want to know. So one thing that we always do before we go on a firearms hunt is go out to the range and double check, make sure the scope's on, and make sure everything's good on the gun. So I brought out my dad. He's been around muzzleloaders. I've shot a ton of muzzleloaders. However, he's always been there and double checked and made sure everything I did was right. So we brought him out to the range just to make sure I had everything correct and that I did it all by myself, that I didn't have any other questions. There. We're sitting all day here. It is that pre-rut, so those bucks are kind of getting ready to cruise. If not, they are already cruising. So it is going to be a long sit. Starting the morning off, we had a couple does come through, and then we had a nice young buck came out of the bottom that we just looked at, and hey, bucks are moving. He was cruising, he was giving a couple grunts, gave us a beautiful show, then he headed back down to that creek bottom. He gave us a lot of opportunity to harvest him. However, he's just a little young. We gotta let him go. Hopefully he comes back next year. So hunting in a new spot, one thing I always do is pop up Onyx just to see how the terrain lays and see where I think these deer should be coming out or where they should be bedding. So day 2, we're heading back to the same spot I was bow hunting. We knew that buck was still in the area. They have plenty of trail cam photos after we got done hunting from bow season till now. So the first deer that came in was a doe. She fed right on the bait pile, and all of a sudden I look up and catch movement on the same ridge that we saw him on day 3. Sound right. That was 15 yards. Yeah, I don't know. So we went down, we saw some hair. At first I thought I just gave him a haircut. We sent some footage back to Dan and my dad. They both think with how steep the angle is, it probably came out of the guts. We went back out, watch the footage again, probably for the 5th time, but we're gonna try and sneak out and see if he's just laying over the hill later tonight, probably.
Hey guys, I want to take a minute and talk about Ozone, especially Ozonics. This is the HR600. What's really cool about it is it creates ozone just like normal, but it's extremely, extremely quiet. The HR600 is loaded with features. All the buttons are easily accessible from the bottom. It comes with a red light, and you wouldn't think the red light is a big deal. It is so cool to be up in your tree stand and be able to hit that and do all your stuff and then shut it back off. It's extremely quiet. On regular mode, you barely hit it. If you hit boost mode, it's almost like the unit was before. Comes with a removable core, which is, again, it sounds like it's one of those features you wouldn't use, but if you use your unit a lot, the core is going to burn out. Now you only have to buy a new core rather than the whole unit itself. Another great feature is the mounting system. It's extremely adjustable, sharp. The unit comes off it so you don't have the whole unit trying to get on, and it clips on there very silently. The last thing I want to talk is about battery life. This has a battery that will last the entire day. Even on boost mode, we were in Missouri and it lasted literally 3/4 of the day on boost mode, which is amazing. Check it out at ozonicshunting.com.
backed out last night. Best thing to do if you aren't sure when to hit where you shot him is back out. We are just worried. We've been watching it a lot. I don't think it went in the guts. It could have, so we gave him over 8 hours. When it was that 8-hour mark, it was going to get dark, so we said, wait, let's just go back in the morning. We have good light. Hopefully he's just laying over that little drop that we couldn't see. He's right there. Hopefully we didn't, I don't think we pushed him because we didn't even go luck.
We didn't find any more blood. Carson had a great idea. Hey, there was a creek bottom. If the deer is shot down there, he doesn't want to run back up the ravine. So most likely, he'll probably be dead down by the water.
That deer in the river right there. I don't see a rack there. I don't think that's him. He's definitely not him. Oh, it is him, buddy.
How deep do you think that is?
I don't know.
We'll go on swimming.
though.
What are you gonna do?
It's a little cold.
That's not him.
It's not him.
We pulled it all out of the water. It was an EHD kill from a couple months before. I think that was my low. That hit me like a train. It sucked.
It just wasn't the right buck. It wasn't a hit, it's probably EHD that hit it. It was dead in the creek, probably 150 yards from where we were. So, I had a lot of hope right there, but we'll find him.
This was going to be a hunt with no recovery. That is every hunter's worst nightmare, and it just came true for me. Looking back, I rushed the shot. There's no excuse for it, but this deer just shows me I need to actually take my time, remember all the little steps there to make sure I have a good harvest.